Hey guys, welcome back to Game of Constellations, and today we'll be discussing Sun in the 8th house. Now, if you're new to my channel, then make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon which is right next to the subscribe button so you don't miss out on all my videos. So let's get started. So, what is the 8th house? 8th house is the house of uncertainties, and the ups and downs which we face in our life is seen by the 8th house. 8th house also represents inheritances, taxes, and all our possessions which we want to show, as well as the possessions which we do not want to show to the society. Now, 8th house directly controls our married life, our sexual life, and it also represents our in-laws. Now, 8th house is the direct significator of transformation and experiencing that death and rebirth and death-like situations in this lifetime. Now, 8th house is also a moksha house in Vedic astrology, just like the 4th and the 12th house, and this has that water element present in it. And also, 8th house is a malefic house in Vedic astrology, just like the 6th house and the 12th house. And remember that malefic houses are extremely important in Vedic astrology for us to understand how we progress in this lifetime and how we're able to attract these materialistic things so that we're always able to succeed and stay successful. And so what is Sun? Sun represents power, authority, politics, anything that is regal and royal. Sun shows our confidence, ego. Sun is the direct representation of our soul, our Atma. And finally, Sun is the significator of creativity and father. With Sun in the 8th house, we see that these are the kind of people who are very sensitive, emotional, and they've gone through a very harsh experience early on in their childhood, which is why when they grow up, they're pretty much shrewd and they're always very defensive when it comes to dealing with the things with the society. And this placement also shows that these are the people who have really worked very hard from their young age, only to make sure that when they cross their mid-30s and mid-40s, they want to have a very stable life, and they've made sure that now they've successfully earned that respect and money in this lifetime. Now, as I mentioned that 8th house also controls our relationship with in-laws, with Sun in the 8th house, we see that this is a very good position for a person to receive a lot of benefits and that financial gain from their in-laws. But at the same time, since Sun rules ego, we see that there's certainly some kind of ego issues or ego battles that will outplay between the person and their in-laws. Now, with Sun in the 8th house, we also see that this person has a very curious personality, and they have a very investigative personality. So they always want to know what's happening around them, and they really don't like being in this position where if two people are talking something and if they're not able to listen to what they're speaking, then they really become very curious and they're very uncomfortable because they don't like being a part of a conversation where they're not being told each and everything. And that's why these people also enjoy listening to secrets. If somebody comes to them and says, hey, listen, I'm going to tell you a secret and don't tell this to anybody, they fantasize that situation because they like to listen to secrets and they like to be given importance when it comes to dealing with confidential information. And this is why we see these people do very well in working for the government, especially if they're working in secrecy for the government and working as secret agents. This position is very good for such people. Now, obviously, we'll have to see which zodiac sign and constellation in which the Sun is positioned for us to assess if this person can actually go and work for the government and be a secret agent. And we also see that with this position, if a person is into the field of medicine, then they're usually interested towards becoming a surgeon, because the 8th house also deals with going deep, and a surgeon needs to really go deep down and then fix the problem. So this placement is very useful and usually suitable to people who are interested in the field of medicine. Also, we see that with this placement, people are more inclined towards research and analyzing, and they do very well in such fields. Now, with this placement, there's a very natural and magnetic attraction towards occult, mysticism, hidden knowledge, and astrology. So this could also be another position for someone to learn astrology, and especially this is the placement where you see these people would want to believe in something which has been written thousands and thousands of years ago, rather than what's being found and explored in the recent times. And this makes them very orthodox, and this position usually makes them want to learn more and more hidden knowledge and hidden things. And usually with Sun in the 8th house, we see that at the age of 22, the person goes through some kind of a transformation, because usually during around that age, this person goes through some life and death experience where this now completely transforms them to a better life. Now, for example, we see that, let's say, for the first 22 years, this person was a very reserved, introverted, and a pretty calm person. Then after the age of 22, because of something, there's just a very big snap in their life that now they're completely communicative, they're jovial, they're making a lot of friends. And this could also be vice versa, where they were social and friendly, and now they're pretty much introverted and just towards themselves. So with this placement, we see that personality transformation snapping out every now and then, and they can go through multiple transformations in this lifetime, not just once. And this becomes a part of their life. Now, as I mentioned before, that Sun is the significator of father. We see that the native of this father would probably be a very hardworking person, and he's put his life into making sure that now the family is pretty self-sufficient and they have all what they need. But depending on the zodiac sign and the constellation in which Sun is placed, there can also be a very fearful relationship with the father with this placement. And we usually see that the person is not in a very good relationship with their father. This could also be because they respect and fear their father a lot in this lifetime, that they don't sit down with them and casually have this discussion. Probably they just talk to them once in a while when their father is around, because this position gives that fear and respect towards the father. Now, I also mentioned that 8th house directly controls our married life. And so with Sun in the 8th house, we see that there's obvious ego issues within the married life, but then here Sun is also capable of making sure that the ups and downs in married life is more or less stabilized, and then the Sun has this capacity here to make sure that there is a bit of smoothness within the marriage life, even though 8th house is the house of uncertainties and ups and downs, but Sun here gets this power to control this house. And don't forget that we are talking only about Sun in the 8th house without looking at the zodiac signs, constellation, the conjunction aspects. And so if you do have Sun in the 8th house, but then it's conjunct any other planet, or it's receiving aspects from multiple planets, then this is obviously going to change the dynamics of Sun in the 8th house. And we'll have to look at the chart holistically to understand how your Sun is behaving. So anyway, guys, these were my thoughts on Sun in the 8th house. And if you like this video, make sure you like, share, and comment on this video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon, which is right next to the subscribe button. So until my next video, goodbye.